Okay, first round. We're on the draw, and this seems like a keep to me. We've got 18 lands in this thing. We've got a 2-drop to play, and we've got plenty of 3s, including a Read the Bones to help dig us out. All right, and he's done nothing. So I think I'm just going to Read the Bones here. All right, we want the Gray Merchant, and yes, we also want the land. Best card in our deck, and then we want as many of these as we can get right now with our hand. Cavern Lampad. He's in black. Yeah, I think I'm just going to wait and just play the Minotaur for now. Got the combo set up as well for down the line. All right, so he came up with a Tormented Hero after like 5 turns, so that's not going to do it. So let's just Phoenix him here. He gets to keep his good stuff, but we're going to get something important. The next turn, I mean, we're actually just going to go off. I mean, because I think we're just going to cast like this guy, then this guy, if we get lucky, this guy. And the last things that we're going to cast are the Gray Merchants. Wow, he showed me Stone Shock Giant first. Rage, Sip, Whip. All right, so he's clearly defensive, so I think I'm just going to take away the Giant here. It's either that or the Rage. I don't really care if he uses it on any of these things, though, so I'm just going to take that Giant because it's the one thing that can really kind of interact with us in a poor way for us. I mean, that thing attacks pretty well. He even attacks into this. So what, do you have an Ordeal, or what's going on here? No, not that. 5. Yes, you can. All right. All right, so I have an attack here. Let's do that. And I'm just going to play the Gorgon here. No need to be in a hurry. Gorgon attacks just fine. If we hit a land, I can Lampad up something and start battling too. All right, I think he's just going to instantly kill this with his Sip. I don't blame him. I also don't really care that much. Whew. That's a good one. So, yeah, it is time for this then. Because we can combo him off, basically. Plus, this thing just attacks right now. Hopefully he kills it. Ideally, he uses like Rage of Perforos or something. Didn't know that. Alright, so he's in. I don't know exactly what he was saying. Alright, so he's got a Keepsake Gorgon. Which we can... I guess I just attack with Gray Merchant here. Because I want one in my graveyard. And then I'm just going to rescue from the underworld with Phoenix and Grey Merchant. And then I'm going to play a Grey Merchant and then he'll be dead. Yeah, you got it. Just fully going off here. So we get to take his last card. It's a good one. And then kill him. All right. Well, that went according to plan. What do we want to do here? Would I rather just have the blue version of the deck against Keepsake Oregon Abhorrent Overlord? Probably would. Yeah, I think I'm just going to switch it up. He's got some pretty big stuff. Also, if I'm going to play white, I guess I should just play the Eidolon. I kind of forgot about it on accident there. I don't know. It still seems worth playing to me. It's a really good card. Wouldn't say we have any like amazing targets for it, but still probably worth running. Try to keep it to black permanents mainly, but all right, found one. We got a mulligan here. That one we can keep. If he gets off to a start, though, he can trash us pretty good. All right, here's Return Phalanx into probably just attack you with Return Phalanx. That's a good draw, though. Still on the attack you with Return Phalanx plan, but might change here based on whatever he plays. Oh yeah, definitely changes with that. Though I have to say that is definitely a card that I don't mind him playing. I want this game to go long so I can do this. And looks like he agrees. All right, so he's got an Insatiable Harpy here. Let's see what we draw. Mogus's Marauder. All right, well, we're going to play our own Harpy, and maybe he'll be dissuaded from attacking into it. If he does attack, I'm just going to take it and just trade damage with him back and forth. Because it's obviously a lot better on our side of the battlefield than his. Is that an ordeal? Awkward. That's going to make it impossible to race him. So we need to draw some removal. This is going to get pretty tough. Steed doesn't matter though. All right, well, we get to do the old hand dump here. Because this thing's not going to trigger for another turn. So we're going to attack him, get a little bit of life back, and then I'm going to play Marauders and Return Phalanx, and then he's going to hit us one more time, and then I'm going to drop the Merchant. Fortunately, none of this really does anything for us, but now, if he finds another way to get a counter on that thing, that would be pretty annoying. But if not, he has to do a lot of work to do that anyway. He has to have like basically another ordeal. But we're still going to be stuck pretty good here because we're going to play out whatever we get here. And we're going to play out our merchant, and then he's going to make us discard whatever we drew. Hopefully we just draw a land so we don't have to discard anything. Return Centaur milling himself for Boon, Titan Strength, Unicorn Swamp. Okay. Land. Ah. Boo. Though having one in the yard's actually not the worst here. Interestingly. But being able to just chain them together would have been insane. But obviously he's not going to allow that. So yeah, not getting a land here is definitely iffy for us too, because if we had gotten a land, then we actually have Sip of Hemlock as like a reasonable out to this, but now we need land and Sip of Hemlock, and he's going to be kind of smashing our head in with it for 3 every turn. So that's kind of bad for us. And you can have a huge Cyclops, though. We have many ways to deal with that. Land pad, you say? 1, 2, 3. We still need another land to make this thing actually go, though, and it can't actually get in at all right now. Yeah, no, I don't really feel the need to run this out there. Because this way, if we draw a land next turn, then land pad becomes much better because we can put it on this Insatiable Harpy and just sort of keep up in the damage rates like almost equally, where it might even be better for him to just not do anything. Where on its own, it doesn't even attack through this, or this, or this. Oh god, he's got a whip. He still doesn't have any other attacks, but that's really bad for us. There's nothing in this yard that's really worth whipping at the moment, but... Alright. Get some life back. Whip makes it almost impossible to race because he's going to start whipping back stuff, and we're not going to be able to really merchant him out, and we don't really have a way to deal with this, so it's pretty bad for us, really. Alright, he hit his 6th land, so this isn't a big deal, though. So let's just trade off these 2 guys for his Cyclops. He gains a bunch of life. But we're in a bit of a holding pattern here. That's the good news. The bad news is, of course, that he has a whip and we don't. Yep, even bigger. The key here is that he has an Abhorrent Overlord floating around somewhere in that deck of his, and we do not. One good Scourge deserves another. Well, it's a bit of a bummer. I really like drawing Read the Bones there off the Scourge mark, but bricking. I don't think that the Phalanx and the other thing really mattered. Discard this one. It's getting really aggressive now. This is interesting. Guess he can afford to, but just get to start eating his creatures, though. Kind of like that. Okay, I can sit back now and just try to trade off my Harpy for his Harpy. Can rescue back a Gray Merchant. If he goes for something, I mean, he can kill me here if he has something, but, well, I guess he can't. I'll have a Cavern Lampad to block on the ground. Alright, he's going to start whip back his, what's it called? Oh, that thing? Alright, I thought he was going to whip back the Cyclops, but he decided against it. These are kind of weird attacks. I can just block this thing and take one. I mean, he doesn't care about this, but I think I'd rather just get rid of this dumb Harpy for once and for all. Get the Lampad back. What do I want back? The Harpy? Or a Merchant? Merchant doesn't really hurt him, but it does shore up the ground nicely. Which I suppose I kind of need to do. Because if I even am losing the race by a little bit, I'm going to lose it pretty horribly as he's so far ahead on life. All right. That's just fine. I can Voyages End my own Gray Merchant. Can certainly Voyages End that guy. Okay. All right. Moving right along here. Nothing's really happening for us, but I'm assuming he's going to want to fire off this monstrosity here, and then I can just kind of get him with Voyage's End. Get some scry going. Maybe draw a card. I got this in case he actually draws something I can kill with it. What is he whipping back here? Cyclops, yeah, whatever. looks like he's going to go for the monstrous here. I wonder if let me see what Whip says. What if I return it to his hand? Yeah, we could just get to exile it. Seems good. Take some damage here, but not a ton. And I untap and sip him. Back down to 53 life for you, sir. Sure. And he's going to get back this guy, which is annoying, but it's okay. And I need more spells. What else is new? Does he have me? Yeah, he has me dead here. If he whips back something with 2 power, I can block this thing, and then he just kills me. So I think we were ground down by the whip here, unfortunately. All right. Do we want to stick with the blue version, or do we want to move back over? Tackle. Oh, cool. Yeah, he's talking about the last episode. We talked to my friend and coworker, Tim Willoughby. He had a really cool idea about how to test early formats. You can check that out. It's episode number 204 of Limited Resources. You can find it on lrcast.com. All right, so this is going to be here. I think I like a Return Centaur in here somewhere. Maybe better than the Marauder, which isn't going to do anything. I think I am going to go back to the white version here. Because I think that, maybe it's better to have the Regenerator and stuff against his big stuff. Can buy us some more time. I like all the card, any and all card draw we have. I like our hard removal a lot. Actually, I think we're okay like this. Still going to leave the Eidolon out, though. I don't think we're really racing him. All right, yeah, we'll play first. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, this seems good. A little bit on the expensive side, 5, 5, 5, 6 and stuff, but I don't think his deck's going to be able to put too much pressure on us. Ooh, I'm going to say that. In the early stages. And I like having some of our most powerful spells here in hand. Can even attack with that next turn if we don't hit something else that we want to play. It's a fine draw. Lands. Now we just need lands for the rest of the game, basically. Oh, that's pretty good for him. Ugh. Going to need lands. We have 18. But we are going to need some pretty quickly here, as that unicorn is going to allow him to power out some sick stuff, I bet. If we just hit a few running lands, though, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. Lightning Strike. Okay, well. That's kind of a weird play. Ugh, give me some lands. Ugh. All right, good start. If we can hit another land in a row, then we're going to be in really good shape, because we get to take this thing out with Lash of the Whip. Interestingly as well, he's since he put it on a mana creature, he needs to keep attacking with it in order to actually get value. You're just going to take his land away from him here. He'll be able to get value from March of the Returned, and that's kind of annoying, but I think I'd rather just make him decide between attacking or not. Yeah, see, he's not even going to do it this time. Lash of the Whip, our guy. Wow, that's lucky too. Land? Sip of Hemlock. So brutal. I mean, he Lash of the Whipped our Disciple for us. It's like the best thing that could possibly happen to us, but... Okay, he's going to hit himself here. All right, so he's going to get some value here. He's missing land drops, but he will hit them eventually. The question is, will we hit them eventually? We do. All right, so I think I take out the unicorn right now with Lash. Yeah. He can buy it back, but it's going to take him like a lot of turns to get out of that. And I don't want to lose two of these cards, because these are, like, frankly, just some of our best cards. And he's done us some favors by using up his removal on our guys that we kind of have already gotten our value from. Got him twice with the Return Phalanx and then hit him with this thing. And I mean, my plan is just to go Gray Merchant here, sack it, start getting him. We have... All right, this is getting much better. And then just try to go off with Triad of Fates and and Gray Merchant. So mini drain you, and then we're going to take away... Well, it depends on what he plays this turn, but we're going to try to just nab his whole hand, basically. And I'm going to let him have that. I can sip of him. Oh, maybe I won't. No, I don't think I will. Yeah, I think I'm going to just start going off here. I think I'm going to Freakus Cure this thing and then just play Triad of Fates here, because that gets Triad of Fates going and allows me to get into kind of start going off mode with Gray Merchant. And if he plays any bombs, I can sip them. Ill-Tempered Cyclops is fine. He's way off from being able to really do anything with it. I do want to get a look at his hand. All right, so how does this all work? So I think I can just start doing this, but I really want to get this thing back in, because you can actually... You can do some sick stuff. Every other turn, you can draw step, hit them with this. So, like, you put a fate counter, they draw their card, they play whatever. Then you use the white side of this to blink this guy during their draw step, and you can just take their draw step from them. I mean, unless it's an instant. So I think I just need to rescue the Underworld this turn. So I'm just going to put a fate counter on this or whatever. I want to start putting him on this guy, because you can just kill your opponent doing that. But I want to get this guy in play before I do it, so that when I do it, it's only 3 activations and then he's dead. In fact, it'll actually only be 2 more activations and then he'll be dead. right, no attacks from him. That's happy. Steed, sure. Tap down your steed. Just in case we need to use that. Probably won't, but just in case. All right, so get you. Wow, sick hand. So he needs a black mana source here. This is really interesting. I think I actually just going to end up taking Rage here. Because if he hits, he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 2 mana away from Reborn Overlord, so we just can't really worry about that. Plus I have Sip. It's either Whip or Rage, and if I let him keep Rage, he untaps and kills Triad of Fates or Grey Merchant with it, and then our combo's offline. Yeah, I'm going to take Rage here. Whip of Erebos is yucky too, but I think this is better. Yeah, because this way a Sip of Hemlock will also just kill him. So I wonder if I just sip the Ill-Tempered Cyclops right now. Yeah, I think I do. This sets up the win next turn. If he draws a black source, he can survive by playing his Whip and suiciding his Flesh Mad Steed in. He needs to have drawn Lash of the Whip here, though, to get out of this. There we go. All right, so we comboed off. That was pretty sick. All right, we'll see you guys in the second round.